May I please have your undivided attention? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to work really hard so the night doesn't last too long, but we have several very exciting speakers we'd like you to hear from. It is with extraordinary pleasure that I introduce to you a very recent graduate of St. Ignatius College Prep, a soon-to-be freshman member of the Evans Scholarship class at Marquette University, Christina Zacina Hernandez.
Thank you, Mr. David. Good evening. My name is Christina Zacina Hernandez, and I recently graduated from St. Ignatius College Prep. I am going to be a Marquette Chick Evans Scholar this year. If you had suggested to me 5 or 6 years ago that I would attend one of the most prestigious high schools in the city of Chicago and go to college on a scholarship, I would have thanked you for the compliment, but deemed you a bit too optimistic. You see, at the age of 8, I knew what it felt like to be deemed a failure simply because of my economic background. My mother worked 3, even 4 jobs a week just to make ends meet, and my father was never around. I looked around, and I didn't see an opportunity to go to high school, much less go to college. But that all changed one day. I remember it very vividly, November 21st, 2008. I was sitting right next to my mother, who was back then in her 3rd trimester, and I opened a letter from Daniel Murphy. And in that letter, it told me that I was selected to receive the Daniel Murphy Scholarship. And I tried to hide this from my mom just so that she wouldn't get the sudden surprise. But when tears started rolling down my cheeks, she knew the change. She felt the change that was about to happen in our lives. And it's now until now that I realize how much Daniel Murphy has truly changed my life. The decision to attend St. Ignatius College Prep was a leap of faith. A leap of faith because I didn't know what to expect. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I was glad to jump through those doors that Daniel Murphy and all its gracious donors had opened up for me. My breakthrough was when I realized I was part of something much bigger than myself. When I let go of that fear of failure, my excuse of my mother not going to college or not having enough money to go to college, it all subsided when I realized that. What did the combined support of my mother and Daniel Murphy mean to me? It's really hard to describe. When I look at some of my peers, I see that they have parents who bail them out. I see that they can make a mistake and it'll be solved right away. Every time they do something wrong, someone is there to bail them out. But I don't have that safety net. I wasn't going to get a second chance. My mother seemed mean when she set strict rules. Daniel Murphy seemed mean when they set such high standards. But you know what? That made me work harder. That pushed me to do better. I understood that when I stood into the classroom, I was representing not only myself, but my family, and the family that Daniel Murphy provided for me, and everyone who believed in me. I was not going to let this opportunity slip by. I wasn't going to waste it. When I first became a Daniel Murphy Scholar, an alum told me that the moment I stepped out into the real world, I wasn't going to be like everyone else. He told me that when he became a Murphy Scholar, he gave up the luxury to only represent himself. I took his words to heart. Both within and outside of the classroom, and even at home, I am a Daniel Murphy Scholar. I want to share with you some of the highlights that I had in my high school career. My freshman year, I joined ALAS, the Association for Latin American Students. This year, I was vice president. During my sophomore year, I joined forensics, a speech team. I was a competitive oratorical declamation speaker. That same year, I traveled to Washington, D.C. to compete at nationals after finishing second in the state. I have been a member of the track team. My event is discus. No worries, I'm a thrower, but I won't throw anything right now. In my junior year, I took second at sectionals and traveled to state. This past year, I had the honor of serving our team as captain. As a junior, I was able to travel with my class to China on a cultural immersion trip. I visited Xi'an, Shanghai, and Beijing. I was also inducted into the National Chinese Honor Society and served as treasurer that year, and this past year I served as secretary. I was also inducted into the National Honor Society. But I think the real highlight came when I decided to become a caddy. When I decided to become a caddy, I went to LaGrange Country Club, and I was proud to be called one of the Murphy girls. The reason? With the name comes a sense of passion, a sense of vision for success that doesn't allow you to just do the bare minimum, that doesn't let you just be smart. It makes you push through everything, the obstacles. When I was 8 or 9 years old, I walked into a room unseen by my godmother as she told her friends that there was no way I would ever graduate from high school because I wasn't smart enough and because my dad wasn't around to push me to make the right decisions. It's true. I didn't have a dad around, but I had an amazing mother, and I had Daniel Murphy. The love, the support, the opportunity. That has propelled me to where I am today, about to enter Marquette University as a Chick Evans Scholar. I stand before you today knowing that I will have a wonderful life. Know that I will be successful. I will stop at nothing less. You, all of you here today, supporting Daniel Murphy, have given me so much. I won't let you down. Thank you.
Well, I got a feeling that speech is going to be pretty hard to beat. But our next speaker is going to give it a try. Arnaz Newton, Brooks Academy, class of 2000. Went on to Penn after that, where he got his undergraduate degree, and then he became a teacher. Without further ado, Arnaz Newton.
Good evening. It's an honor to be here. I'm proud to say that I'm a member of the DMSF family. I became a member of this great family when I entered high school in 1996. It's a family that has transformed hopes and dreams into reality for many of Chicago's youth. I was raised on the South Side by a single mom who had 4 children in the Inglewood and Washington Park neighborhoods. As my friends and I strolled the blocks of our neighborhoods, we often saw no hope. We had gang affiliations nearly by default. As we entered adolescence, the future seemed bleak. Carrying guns seemed like a logical, life-preserving decision. In a neighborhood where crack addiction was rampant, the drug trade seemed a more realistic way of making a living than becoming a doctor, an attorney, or a financial advisor. We had never even met any of these type of people. It was not a part of our reality. We all liked school, but unfortunately, none of us knew anyone who had any type of success in getting the education we received at the schools we came from. I was certainly intrigued by the gang culture and what seemed to be the luxurious lifestyle of the neighborhood drug dealers. Of course, those intriguing thoughts were extinguished by my mom. It wasn't just that I was going to be a good kid. I was afraid of what she would do to me. If I feared nothing else, I was afraid of that woman. I was introduced to DMSF in the fall of 1995. I had just begun my 8th grade year at Betsy Ross Elementary School, and I had no idea what would lie ahead of me. One afternoon, as I sat daydreaming in the back of my classroom, I was interrupted with a strong tap on the shoulder. It was the school counselor. She simply said, "Come with me." I was accompanied by a few other fellow 8th graders, and we were all handed a poorly stapled packet with the bold letters DMSF on the front. We all flipped through the pages, and excitement grew as we all viewed the list of partner schools, because the prospect of going to prep school just seemed like a dream away from our reality. After a brief explanation, we were told to go back to class and that we would get out of a bit of homework if we completed the application. My mother made it her job for me to complete that application. She sensed that she was losing her older son and was not willing to allow me to go down the same road. I did fill out the application, and a few months later, I was called for an interview. Not long after that, I received a letter that informed me that I was a member of the class of 2000 of the DMSF, and I'll tell you, that decision to accept the scholarship forever altered my life. I went on to attend Brooks School in North Andover, Massachusetts. While a student at Brooks, I had countless experiences that would not have occurred without the support of DMSF. I adapted to a new place and the uneasiness that a mama's boy would feel being away for the first time in his life. I learned to have faith in my own abilities as I faced the rigorous academic environment of a New England boarding school. Determination. That was the name of the game from the very beginning. DMSF staff and supporters, each in their own way, showed me that determination could go a long way when coupled with a great support system that you can only receive from a family. I had the optimism to continue a process of becoming a better person daily, because I knew that there were people who believed in me and who wanted me to succeed. As a shy, quiet, curious, yet impressionable 13-year-old boy from the South Side, this family was exactly what I needed. The impact that DMSF has on a scholar's life extends well beyond the opportunity and the benefits of gaining access to the most prestigious prep schools in the nation. Simple but universal words such as hope, faith, honesty, integrity, determination, and optimism describe a common thread amongst those related to DMSF. After I finished high school, I went on to earn a BA at the University of Pennsylvania. Upon graduation, I joined Teach for America. And I became a teacher at the very same elementary school I attended. At the conclusion of my TFA commitment, I had the opportunity to work as a sales and trading analyst for one of the major global financial institutions. Throughout my time as a DMSF scholar and alum, I have been constantly reminded of what life could have been if I had not become a member of this great family. My brother, who was a brilliant student, dropped out of Inglewood High School during his freshman year. Instead of fulfilling his dreams of becoming a successful businessman, he navigated the streets selling drugs. He threw those dreams out of the window. He replaced those dreams with the much harsher reality that led to an attempted murder charge at 15 years old. He was sent to prison after shooting a man twice in the chest following a dispute. Fate would have it that only 2 of my childhood friends would go on to finish college. Many a study session was interrupted with bad news of a childhood friend being incarcerated, shot, or even killed. These reminders, along with my older brother being in prison for the entirety of my time with DMSF, were reminders that my fate could have been much different. Shortly before I returned to Chicago after college, my brother was released from prison. Not surprisingly, he had a difficult time adjusting to life on the outside. Faced with the dissatisfaction of low-wage work, he returned to drug dealing, just to make ends meet. A return to prison was inevitable. I, on the other hand, had everything I wanted, including a beautiful bride-to-be who I had met at a social gathering with my friends from the Caddy program. July 1st, 2007 was the happiest day of my life. I married the woman of my dreams, and my brother was at my side with the biggest smile I'd ever seen on a best man. However, this feeling of bliss was short-lived. Exactly a week later, I was at the Cook County morgue identifying my brother, my best man. He had murdered one of our childhood friends before taking his own life after a brief standoff with the police. While this was unexpected, it was a fate my mother had feared and prepared herself to deal with since her sons were little boys. My brother's death inspired me to return to teaching. I was given the ultimate example of what life may have been without the opportunities provided by DMSF. I recently took time away from teaching to produce Smile, a documentary film that not only details the events of my brother's demise, but also serves to remind us that extending a helping hand to a child, giving a student the knowledge and the confidence that he has someone in his corner, can make a young person know they can succeed despite the presence of all the adversities of the inner city. My narrative is by no means a representation of all DMSF scholars. But one thing you would hear from every other alumni is that we have all been allowed to dream more and think bigger as a result of the impact that DMSF has had on our lives. We can all tell you that we are privileged to be members of this great family. It is more than a scholarship opportunity. It empowers scholars with hope for the future, faith in their abilities, while instilling and demanding honesty and integrity. I stand here, I hope, as an example of how your support can convert dreams into reality. My 2 young children will grow up with a far different perspective and will be able to dream even bigger because you gave me the chance to be a better person. I also know that our work is far from over. I have returned to a classroom filled with students who wanted to be anywhere but there, who continue to search for that ray of light which might change the course of their lives. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you all for everything you have done for me, for my family, the family of all DMSF scholars. Thank you.
Well, I was wrong. I hope you're getting a good idea why we're here tonight. I got two more amazing alumni to introduce to you right now. Bernard Lockhart, Concord Academy, Lake Forest College. Montse Moreno, Deerfield Academy, Marquette University as an Evans Scholar. Ladies and gentlemen, Bernard Montse.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a round of applause for those amazing stories. That's just wonderful. Awesome. Now, most of you may remember me from last year during the paddle race. Well, I'm back. And with your help last year, we raised $143,800. Yeah, I mean, that's great. That's great. But you know what? Let's do better. This year, let's try to do better with that. And I got a little help now with Montse here. She's gonna get you guys all riled up and ready to go. Without further ado, Montse.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Bernard, first of all. He is an amazing friend, scholar. We've been friends since we were in the Caddy program. He's an amazing entrepreneur. He is one of my best friends, and I'm so glad that you're here introducing me because it really just goes to show the theme of the night, really, which is family. I feel like when Christina came up and Arnez was talking, they talked about family, and it really is that. I mean, well, you'll see in my speech, I won't give it away, but really, thank you so much. Thank you guys also, because you guys are also part of the Daniel Murphy family. Without you guys, our family wouldn't be possible. So we're so grateful for everything that you guys do. As Bernard said, I'm Montse Moreno. I'm a Daniel Murphy alumna, class of 2005. Thanks to the Daniel Murphy Scholarship Fund, I attended Deerfield Academy. And I had no idea then, nor could I have imagined, what this critical opportunity would mean to my life. My experience at Deerfield was more than academic. I learned hard work, responsibility, and more importantly, it opened my eyes to the great opportunities that were available to me as a scholar. I also followed the route of so many before me who then joined the Caddy program. And it's really important to me because I talk about family, but really I met two really, really important people in my life. First, Gustavo Moreno, De La Salle, class of 03, NIU Evans Scholar, class of 08. He's my husband, so that's great. But then also I met Mary O'Leary, who is a board member, also kind of became my mentor, is a really good friend. And I guess at this point in the speech I should pause because she really became my mentor, and I just want to let everyone know that, there's Rob, Mary O'Leary's husband. I was going to say, she really was a mentor for me throughout the entire Caddy program, and mentorship is really, really another important part that we haven't really touched on tonight, but it's so important to this organization. Mary O'Leary, would be very instrumental in helping me in my career years later, but before that I did go to Marquette, and I majored in advertising and public relations, and upon graduation, Mary, my mentor, guided me through Starcom Media Vest Group's Future Leader program. And it was in this program that was designed to attract and cultivate leaders that I grew a passion and dedication for my job that very quickly became a career. And I'm here today because we're here to raise money, and I want to be here to show you guys the future. You know, Christina's here, and she's me 8 years ago, right? So Cadet LaGrange, check, we both did that. Marquette Evans Scholar, check, we both did that. Attended great schools thanks to are part of the Daniel Murphy family. But in 4 years since I started my career, I've grown into a professional who's been named the Ad Color Rising Star of the Year, which is a national award given to talent in the advertising, PR, and marketing industry. Oh, thank you. I've also won multiple awards for the media work that I do on the Procter & Gamble account at Sarcom MediaVest Group, which is great. Thank you. And recently, I've been selected by my CEO as a candidate for some new business work that could lead to a leadership role at Sarcom Argentina, which is huge because it's a huge opportunity. It really just goes to show that, I think Mr. Dwyer said it in the video that you guys saw earlier, but your investment tonight is an investment in the future of these scholars. You know, this is gonna be the best ROI you're gonna get anywhere. And we're building leaders, and that's what we're here for. Every scholar here is so thankful, and we're very excited. So without further ado, I want everyone to identify their paddles. Does everyone have their paddles? Everyone see their paddles? All right, good. Get excited. So we're going to go about this, and I'm going to tell you the process. So number one, you can either take out your phones and see the ABC page. So on that page, there's a green $sign. So as we're going through the paddle race, you guys can just click on that dollar and make your donation. You can also throw your paddle up in the air and keep your hand up until someone in the red shirt comes and finds you. So you see everyone in the red shirts. They're all around the room. So have your paddles up, keep them up until somebody in a red shirt comes and gives you a high five, okay? And takes your information, of course. Okay, so is everyone excited? Everyone ready?
There you go.
I'm really competitive, so this is gonna be a great year. Okay, we're gonna start off, everyone, with $10,000.
$10,000. $10,000. Let's change some lives out here.
This is gonna get 25 scholars to participate in mentoring or an affinity program. All right, so hands up, $10,000. Who's gonna donate $10,000?
10,000. Let's change some lives tonight. 10,000.
All right, 10,000. All right.
There you go.
So these affinity programs that the $10,000 can purchase can help a student maintain their GPAs as well as feel connected throughout their 4 years at their prep school. Anyone else? $10,000?
10,000.
We're going to change
10,000.
lives.
Come on, I know we got one more out there.
At least one more.
At least one more.
All right.
We got another one. There you go. Then we got one more out there.
Anyone else?
One more 10,000.
We see another $10,000.
Woo! 10,000.
All right, $10,000. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. All right. Next bidding option we're going to have is a $5,000 level, and what this will help Daniel Murphy Scholarship Fund with is tuition and programming for one scholar to have tuition for 1 year. All right, $5,000. Do we hear 5,000? All right, 5,000. All right, we got two right in a row. $5,000. Anyone else? $5,000 over there as well. Keep your hands up, everyone. We need to see your hands. 5,000 right in front. All right, let's keep this going, you guys. We're going in a row. Another $5,000 over here.
I know we got a couple more out there.
Hey,
couple more.
$5,000 right here in front.
Okay.
Everyone, keep your paddles up if you've. Anyone else?
5,000.
Yep, we got 5,000
One more.
there.
We got a number 28 over here. Number 28 over here, 5,000. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. $5,000. So here, the next level we're going to have is $2,500, and this is for caddy participation for one scholar for 1 year. So the caddy program is going to help kids get the Chick Evans scholars and really help them learn about hard work. So $2,500. Who's got $2,500? Number 9. 136.
136.
$200. All right,
All the way in the back.
$2,500.
Thank you.
Anyone else? $2,500.
2,500. I know
Come
we got a
on.
few
We have to
more
beat
out
last
there.
year's record, guys.
Yeah,
I'm really
we got a
competitive
few
with
more,
Bernard.
Right? Now, I'll tell you this. This $2,500 helps your golf games.
Right.
This $2,500 helps your golf games. Honestly, take a couple strokes off, $2,500. It'll definitely be worth the investment. Come on now, I know we got a couple more out there.
$2,500. Anyone else?
I know we got a few more out there. $2,500. Okay.
Okay, moving on. Now we have $1,000. This will help the Daniel Murphy Scholarship Fund with summer leap and bridge programs for one new Daniel Murphy scholar. $1,000. Can we hear it?
$1,000.
All right,
One,
$1,000.
We got a
1, 2,
few
3,
here.
4, 5, 6, 7 here. All right.
Two in the back there. We got one up front.
We have
here.
one up front. $1,000.
1,000. Number 97.